Okay, so we will begin now with this topic, time value of money. Last time, part of the orientation and the introduction of what the subject is all about, I was able to ask them, what do you call this? The price of a can of sardines currently. So some students says that for you to purchase or for you to buy a can of sardines, you have to have 23 pesos to or 23 to 26 pesos. Okay. And then I asked them, before or several years back, can they still remember the price of can they still remember the price of the what do you call this? The can of sardines before. So may nagsabi rin na estudyante na, ma'am, ano po siya? 13 pesos. So that was 2012 yata, something like that. So there's a difference. So there's a huge difference between those prices. And that is an example of the time value of money. So you have bigger value of your money today compared with the value of your money in the future. All right? So, kumbaga, as we go along with what is going on with the country, with the economy, or with the world, okay, the value of your money changes also. All right? So, dun iikot yung ating topic. Time value of money, or TVM, is the idea that money available at the present time is worth more than the same amount in the future due to its potential earning capacity. So, money available at the present time. So, if you have money today, okay, it is worth more than the same amount in the future. So, it could be a lesser value or it could be a bigger amount. So later on, we will discuss paano lumalaki yung pera mo after several years. Okay? So dun muna tayo sa simula na nagde-depreciate siya. Kasi bakit natin nasabi nagde-depreciate? It's because if you have this amount of money, okay, previously, these are the things that you can purchase. And as the time passed, okay, with the same amount of money, pero limited na or kumbaga parang nabawasan yung mga dami ng binibili mo. Alright? For example, you have 500 pesos. So, during 1990s or early 2000, 500 pesos is big deal. Alright? So, there's so many items that you can buy inside the grocery if you have 500. Okay? Agree po ba kayo doon? If you agree with me, syempre, if you have 500 pesos years back, medyo madami, di ba? Pero ngayon, if you have 500 pesos, parang hindi mo na kailangan yata magdala ng baskets inside grocery. Dati kasi if you have 500, medyo magdadala ka pa ng basket. And then, syempre, bago yung time ng mga 1980s, ayan, 80s, if you have 500 pesos, you have to expect na you have to bring a cart para makapag-purchase ka at sobrang dami nun. Alright? So, habang tumatagal ang panahon, mas kumukonti mga nabibili ninyo. Same with the sardinas, di ba? So, sabi natin ang sardinas ngayon is 23 pesos. Okay? 30 years from now, so, nasa generation na kayo na yung mga tita, lolo, lola, whatsoever, di ba? So, there will come a time na ang isang lata ng sardinas, kung ngayon ay 23 pesos, most likely baka maging 100 pesos na siya after 30 years, di ba? So, and it's possible to happen, right? So, it's because the money available in the present time, present meaning current situation, is worth more than the same amount in the future. Kasi mas mahal na yung value ng mga necessities natin in the next coming years. So, nawala ng halaga yung pera natin. Diba? So, it is not the same amount in the future due to its potential earning capacity. This core principle of finance holds that provided money can earn interest, any amount of money is worth more the sooner it is received. Okay? Another aspect for the time value of money is on the savings aspect. Okay, if you're going to save money now, and then let it stay in a bank or a financial institution for several years. And then if you're going to get it, ibig sabihin, you have a greater amount of money. Right? Example, nagbuhulog ka sa bangko ng 10,000 pesos. So after 10 or 20 years from now, without touching it or without kumbaga withdrawing it from the bank and letting it earn, okay, there's a possibility that after 20 years, pwede kang maka-earn ng 5,000. So from 10,000, naging 15,000 pesos siya. So that's the time value of money also. Okay, so it's on the financial aspect wherein it earns interest. Okay, any amount money is worth more the sooner it is received. So lumaki ngayon yung value ng pera mo. It's because with the help of the interest. Nakakasunod po ba? To have the time value of money or TVM, it is an important concept in financial management because it can be used to compare investment alternatives and to solve problems involving loans, leases, and savings. Okay? For example, you're going to kumbaga parang you're going to engage in an investment, 'di ba? So, part of the investment is of course, you have to cash out. Or you wanted to create a kumbaga parang income generating investment, 'di ba? You're going to plan to put up your own business, mo sari-sari store. So, before you come up with the idea of the sari-sari store, you don't have any savings. Okay, pero gusto mo magkaroon ng negosyo. So that's the time na you're planning to make a loan in a bank, all right? And create the business. So syempre, pag nag-loan ka sa bank, obviously, they are letting you get the loan provided so you have this agreement on how many payment schemes are you going to get in. And then at the same time, if you planning to loan, for example, for 50,000, and then you're going to pay the bank now, so the amount of money you paid on the bank is not the same as 50,000 anymore. Tama ba ako doon? You agree with that? So kung magkano yung niloan mo sa banko, for example, you borrowed 50,000 pesos. Pag binalik mo siya sa banko after several years, if you're going to add all the payment you made, mas malaki sa 50,000, tama ba o hindi?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so tama. What do you think is the reason bakit siya mas mataas? Ano yung dinagdag doon ng bangko?
The interest.
All right, thank you for responding. So interest, may interest yung bangko. So ibig sabihin, yun yung form ng profit nila. For them to earn from those people who ask for a loan, okay? So they're going to gain profit by means of inputting interest. So yun yun, kumbaga from the principal plus interest, so that is the future value of the money. Okay? So yun yung concept natin na kumbaga if you are going to indulge or engage in investment, okay? So most likely for loans, so syempre nag-grow din ang pera doon by means of the interest. And then for the rent, syempre, for monthly rent natin, sabihin natin it is the same value, naka-fixed siya, pero at the end of the year or another year, pwedeng mag-impose ng a certain increase or percentage na i-increase yung rental fee mo. And then for the savings, like what I have mentioned earlier, diba, all the items all the amount of money that you have invested, okay? So with its corresponding interest, all right? So magigain ka. Provided na you're going to agree with the policy and procedure the bank is implementing. Okay? So for example, you're going to invest in 5,000 in a bank. You're going to put your money in a bank and then you're not going to use it nor withdraw it for a certain period of time. Okay? Upon checking it at the end of the year or so, makikita mo there are changes. So nag-earn ka kahit sabihin natin na barya lang siya, 5 pesos, 10 pesos, still, it is an interest. So for you to, and then afterwards, you're planning to withdraw it, hindi na siya yung 5,000. May additional value na siya doon. So nag-earn na siya. So in the form of interest. Okay? Next, time value of money help us in knowing the value of money invested. So as the time changes, value of money invested on any project or film also changes. And which is true, diba? So for example, you are the business owner and you wanted to engage in expansion of your business. So by means of expanding your business, you wanted to buy a parcel of land. And then you want to transform it into a building, into a condominium, and let gain more profit. So syempre, upon purchasing of that parcel of land, mas mura siya. Diba? So you have invested your money, kahit sabihin mo na million yung halaga niyan, pero you are looking forward for the tenants that will coming in or for the buyers of the units, condo units. If you're going to compute all those income compared with what you have spent, okay, mas malaki yung magiging gains mo dyan. Alright? So it has something to do with the time value of money also. Yun nga lang, it's a long-term project. Okay? And at the same time, a form of investment, and it's a no-joke investment kasi it involves millions of pesos. Pero what you're talking about on the income is no joke as well kasi mas malaki if you spend, for example, 2 million pesos in building up this particular property, and then you're going to let someone lease it or rent it, okay, for a certain period of time. So, makita mo na unti-unti nag-gain ka doon. Alright? So, nag-change din ng value ng money. So, in this time value of money, okay, or the present value, it is always calculated using the mathematical formula which tell us the value of money with respect of time. Okay? So, I'll be showing you the formula. Okay, so it is included in your LMS. Wait lang ha, tingnan lang natin. All right. Can you see my screen now?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So this is the formula using the time value of money or the present value. So for us to compute for the future value, meaning how much is your money in the future, okay? So you have to multiply the present value or the value of your money you have right now or yung cash on hand nyo. Multiply it with the formula ng 1 plus rate. Rate meaning this is the interest rate imposed on the transaction, and then the time, how long before you settle it. So for example, you wanted to have a loan of 10,000 pesos, and the interest will be 10% payable within 1 year. Okay, so after a year, so a year has passed already, and then it's now time for you to pay it back. Magkano na yung babayaran natin? How much is the 10% of 10,000? So anyway, the interest of or the value of 10% of 10,000 is 1,000 pesos. So ibig sabihin, their present value is, or the PV is 10,000, and then you're going to multiply it by the rate, which is the 10%, and then the time is 1 year. So ibig sabihin, that future value is 11,000. So makikita natin yung the future value of the money. Okay? It is may involvement ng loan. So pinahiram mo yung tao ng 10,000. Ano bang date natin ngayon? September 14, 2021. And you have this agreement na, or you're going to return it to me next year. Okay, September 14, 2022 with the interest of 10%. Alright? So, ibig sabihin, yun ang hiram sa'yo, pagbalik September 14, 2022, that is 11,000 already. You earned 1,000 from that. Nakuha po? Nakuha?
Yes, yes po.
Alright. Okay, so thank you for answering. Next is going back to the yan. Yun. So that's the mathematical formula. Anyways, for the next couple of meetings natin, virtual class natin, syempre for the whole module, okay? So you will be having several problems for us to solve using different formulas na kailangan natin for that, 'di ba? For the time value of money, and at the same time, sabi nga natin, we are dealing with this subject, imposibleng hindi tayo magkaroon ng mga computation. Okay? So, mathematical formula that tell us the value of money with respect of time. So, we are dealing with the time. So, habang tumatagal yung nilo-loan natin, mas malaki yung nagiging interest. Kaya if you're going to check, if you're planning to buy a brand new car o brand new vehicle o yung pinakamura na lang ng motor, iba kapag mas mahaba yung payment scheme, if you're going to add the amount of money you have paid, mas malaki yung value niya mula dun sa cash value. Okay? So, if you're not aware of that, try checking it. Tignan nyo, pag bumili ka ng motor, compare mo sa magkano yung cash value ng motor against dun sa magkano ang installment. So, bibigyan ka ng scheme na payable within 6 months, 1 year, 2 years. I'm not familiar with the payment scheme ng motor ha. So, baka meron ba 2 years doon sa motor? I don't know. Baka may alam sa inyo sa estudyante. Paano bang payment system ng pag bumili ka ng motor? Meron ba nakakaalam from the group? Meron ba? Kung wala, it's alright. So let's just assume na bawa payable within 2 years. If you're going to compare the payment, okay, compare dun sa 2 years at dun sa 6 months at sa cash, obviously, mas mura pa rin ang cash. Okay? And kung sa installment, ang pinakamura dyan compared with 6 months and 1 year and 2 years, pinakamura pa rin ang 6 months. Okay? So try checking it. Alright. So far po ba nakakasunod?
Yes po.
Okay. So we have here the reasons for time value of money. The first one is the risk and uncertainty. So as we know, future is never certain, and that is true, 'di ba? Punong-puno tayo na uncertainties. For example, what do you call this? Kumbaga, we are enjoying life, and then you have your own work, your own job, you have your own business, and the business is profiting every now and then suddenly nagkaroon ng COVID. Okay? So we underestimated the power of COVID-19. What happens is nagkaroon ng mga shutdown yung mga companies. Marami nagsara, marami nawalan ng trabaho, 'di ba? And everything in the world stopped. Okay? So syempre, obviously, walang makaalam kung paano yung magiging solution para dyan. So, naging uncertain lahat ng tao. Okay? So, nandyan yung hindi nawawalang uncertainty, even the risk. And at the same time, if you wanted to invest, okay? So, there is also a risk for investment. There's a possibility na hindi bumalik sa iyo yung in-invest mo. Okay? Or there's a possibility na in-invest mo siya sa simula, or kumbaga parang on the first phases, 'di ba? Nakaka-receive ka ng income. Then eventually bigla na siyang naglaho. Right? For example, yung mga always involved in the future. Because the outflow of cash is in our hand as payment where there is no certainty for future cash inflows. Okay? Example, the way we spend, 'di ba? We keep on spending and then lagi sinasabi natin bahala na bukas. Diba? So that's another story for the risk and uncertainty. So you keep on spending today. So there are some people na pagdating pala bukas, wala na silang trabaho. Wala na pala silang panggastos. Alright? So that's the reason for the time value of money kasi there is always a risk and uncertainty. Next one is inflation. So in inflation naman, inflationary economy, the money received today has more purchasing power than the money to be received in the future. Okay, so best example for that, like what I have mentioned a while ago about the sardinas, diba? So currently, this is the amount of, or this is the price of sardinas. Then in the future, what will be the price of that after 5 years or 10 years? So it's not the same as 23 pesos anymore, diba? It's because of the inflation. Okay, so we are talking about the same figures that we can see in the paper notes. When we say paper notes, that is the perang papel, diba? So 50 pesos for example. So it will not be the same as 50, the value of it, in the next few years. It's because of the inflation, because it's the natural phenomena of the increase in prices. So bakit pa tayo nagkakaroon ng increase ng prices? Okay? So it's because how it is being manufactured, how it is being transported, diba? The raw materials used for that, okay? And then the process na ginamit nila until it reaches the consumer. Okay? Nakakasunod po?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you. Now, another reason for the time value of money is the consumption. So individuals generally prefer current consumption to future consumption. So we keep on spending, diba? We keep on spending things and so on. Okay? May kita natin if we spend things now and all the money spent going forward to the future, makikita mo na parang mas mura pa pala ngayon. Diba? And then at the same time, if you keep on consuming, you can compare now all your purchases today will be different from the purchases for the future. Pero you're talking about the same value of money, ha, diba? Like what I have mentioned earlier, the value of 500 pesos before and now. Kung makikita mo yung difference na pag pumunta ka sa grocery store, inside grocery store, and then you only have 500 pesos, before it's a big deal. You have money if you have 500. But for now, if you have 500 pesos, parang baliwala lang. Diba? Minsan, if you're going to travel from Manila to your province, kulang ang 500 pesos as your transpo. Okay? Next is the investment opportunities. So, for this one, an investor can profitably use the received money today to get higher return tomorrow or after a certain period of time. So it's more on the investment or making your money grow. Okay, you're putting your money or hard-earned money in a bank or save it, and other services a bank can offer. For example, you wanted to engage in time deposit, wherein they are offering much higher interest rates compared with savings. All right. But the catch for that is you're not allowed to use the money frequently, or you're not allowed to withdraw it. Okay? You have to agree with their procedure na will be giving you a higher amount of interest provided na you're not allowed to withdraw it for a certain period of time. For example, you're not allowed to use it for 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years, but the return is much higher compared with the savings. Okay, so that's the investment opportunities. And another one is if you're going to purchase an item that is appreciating in the future. When you say appreciating, it is increasing in value. Right? So you have any idea ba ano yung pwede nating bilhin ngayon na pwede mag-appreciate o tumaas ang value sa susunod na mga panahon? O pwede nating
Gold.
Yes, very good. So gold, all right. So if you're going to purchase a jewelry that is, of course, legit gold, diba? Or authentic na gold, it is much cheaper today compared. If you're going to compare it for its value for the next years. Paano natin malalaman? So yung mga usual na ginagamit natin po to check its value, ipapa-check natin sa isang pawn shop kung magkano na yung value niya. Right? May isang nag-share na student kanina na yung value nung bracelet yata yung sinabi niya na ay yes ma'am, totoo po yan. Kasi yung bracelet daw na binili niya few years back, nagtatrabaho siya sa abroad, then mura lang yung pagkakabili. Pero nung pina-check niya sa pawn shop, kasi nga, syempre, lahat naman ng tao nagkakaroon ng kagipitan moment. So, ang laki ng value nung binili. Ang laki na nung value. So, for example, I forgot the amount already from 5,000. Nag-appreciate na siya ng nasa 9,000. So, there's a 4,000 difference. Diba? So that's part of investment. Ibig sabihin, when you say investment, your money grows. Okay? O yung mga you have invested something, and then upon getting it, it's not the same value as before. It has been it increased. Okay? It increases its value. So best example is the gold or land, 'di ba? Yun yung mga yung mga nag-appreciate. Pag bumili ka ng lupa, nag-appreciate 'yan. Okay? And other things na kumbaga you will get a higher return for tomorrow, higher return in the next few years. So investment opportunities. Nakakasunod po ba tayo? For this one, actually maraming importance ng time value of money, pero we will still discuss more of it next meeting or next week. Okay? So let's just discuss the first two. My apology for the typographical error. Nagbulat siya ng panibago. So in investment decision, okay? For small business often have limited resources to invest in business operations, activities, and expansion. So one of the factors we have to look at is how to invest is the time value of money. Okay? So for this one in investment decision, do not underestimate the power of small businesses. Now, for example, you are involved or you are engaging in online selling, diba? So you have this capitalization of 1,000 pesos. Bumili ka halimbawa ng mga RTWs and then you are selling it online. Okay? And good thing, it's sold out. Diba? Nung nag-FB live ka for selling lahat, nag-mine. Then eventually, you use that money kasi from 1,000 pesos, posibleng nag-earn ka ng 500, 1,500. So lumaki na yung value ng pera mo. And then, you didn't use it for another, you didn't spend it, okay, for your personal needs, but instead, you used it again for investment. So ibig sabihin, pwedeng nadagdagan na yung number of items na tinitinda mo. Tuloy-tuloy lang yan, then you will feel something na you are expanding already. Diba? And then it will come a time na pwedeng sa sobrang dami na, pwedeng you'll be needing a help. So kumuha ka na ng assistant mo, pwedeng ganun. And then it will come a time na kailangan mo na ng extra space for the stuff that you have, for the inventories that you have, or the stock na meron ka, 'di ba? So ibig sabihin, your business is growing already. Okay? Naniniwala ba kayo doon?
Yes po.
Okay, so ganun ang nangyayari natin for small business. So do not underestimate its power kasi every businesses, okay, comes from small beginning. So for example, si Henry C, 'di ba? The late Henry C. So he started as a seller of shoes. 'Di ba? So kumbaga, if we're going to define what SM is, that's Shoe Mart. And looking in Shoe Mart or looking SM right now, so they have ventured into hotel, they have ventured into school, malls, right? And they're not just selling shoes. They're selling everything. Okay? RTWs, branded clothes, they have their own house brand, they have their own grocery, they have their own banks, diba, or investment financial institutions. So it started with a small business, pero ngayon, okay, and it's continuously expanding. So it all started with the investment decision, and that is an example also of the time value of money. Okay, another one is the capital budgeting decisions. When a business chooses to invest money in a project, such as expansion. For example, in a business, you are the business owner and you wanted to put up or you wanted to expand. So what you're going to do is you're looking for a land for you to put up your own manufacturing plant. Another branch, pwedeng ganon. O syempre, if you wanted to put up another manufacturing plant, you will be acquiring set of machineries and equipment, set of people who are going to work on that, work with you, and then you're going to have your own timeline and flow chart of how many output you're going to produce in a day, in an hour or so. Okay, so how many output? So that is equivalent also to the number of profit that you're going to earn once the product reaches its consumers. All right, so that's the capital budgeting decision. So you have this option to invest with its risk, okay, and uncertainty. But since you are a risk taker, so what you did is just by looking at the trend, by researching on what will be the needs and wants of the people, and at the same time, risking the capitalization that you have to create another kind of business, okay, or expand your business and make it more bigger. So once you created the product that you wanted to produce and sell it to people, you are earning.